The wedding hall went silent, just as the pastor asked if anyone had a reason why we shouldn't be joined as husband and wife. A voice thundered from the crowd, "Stop this wedding!" My heart froze. I turned and saw my own sister, my half-sister, Adaeze, standing there with tears in her eyes and anger in her voice. But what she said next nearly broke me in two. Let me take you back to the beginning. My name is Iris, a young Nigerian woman who always believed in love. Growing up wasn't easy. My mother was a strong woman, but my father, he had another family. And that's how Adaeze came into the picture. My half-sister. We didn't grow up together, but we met later in life. At first, it felt like fate had given me the sister I always dreamed of. Adaeze was beautiful, bold, and had a way of making people notice her. I trusted her completely. Then came Victor, the love of my life, tall, dark-skinned, handsome, with a charming smile that could melt any heart. Victor was different from any man I'd ever known. He was caring, hard-working, and protective. When he proposed to me, I knew I wanted forever with him. Of course, Adaeze was the first person I called with the news. She screamed with joy and said, "Sister, you deserve this happiness." She even offered to help plan the wedding. How could I ever suspect that behind her smile was jealousy? The weeks leading up to the wedding were busy. Dresses, decorations, food. Adaeze was always around. Sometimes I caught her staring at Victor longer than normal, but I brushed it off. I told myself, she's just happy for me. But there were little signs I ignored, like the day I found her phone unlocked on the couch, and a message from an unknown number saying, "You deserve better than her. Don't let her trap you." I didn't know what it meant. I didn't want to believe Adaeze could ever betray me. The night before my wedding, Adaeze came into my room. She hugged me tightly and whispered, "I hope you know what you're doing, Iris." I laughed nervously, thinking she was just being a protective sister, but her eyes held something else, something darker. Finally, the wedding day arrived. The church was filled with family, friends, and joy. As I walked down the aisle, my eyes locked with Victor's. He smiled, and in that moment, I felt like the happiest woman alive. The pastor began the ceremony. Everything was perfect, until Adaeze stood up. Her voice shook as she shouted, "You can't marry him." The entire hall gasped.
Oh my God.
My mother nearly fainted. And then Adaeze dropped the bombshell. She pointed at Victor and said, "He is not who you think he is. Iris, you cannot marry him because he is my brother." The words hit me like lightning. My knees went weak, and I struggled to breathe. The guests erupted in whispers. My mother's face turned pale, and Victor's father lowered his head in shame. I didn't understand. What did she mean? Brother, my Victor, my fiancé. Adaze's voice cracked as she continued. Years ago, my mother told me about her secret with Victor's father. I didn't want to believe it. But now, seeing you two together, I can't keep silent. Tears streamed down my face. My dream day had turned into my worst nightmare. I looked at Victor, the man I loved, and all I could see was confusion and pain in his eyes. The hall was in chaos. Some guests whispered, some shook their heads, others started leaving. My world was crashing right before me. And then, my mother stood up. She looked straight at Adaeze with trembling lips and said, "If you truly want the truth, then let it all be revealed today." Her words silenced the room, but what she was about to confess would change everything we thought we knew. Do you think Adaeze is telling the truth? Is Victor really my half-brother? Or is this just a jealous lie to ruin my happiness? Watch part 2 to find out the shocking secrets that tore our family apart. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe so you won't miss what happens next in this unbelievable story.